Klarna fired 700 customer service agents last year and replaced them with AI. They saved $40 million in 12 months, and the technology worked. The math made sense. A year later, they were rehiring humans, rebuilding the team that they just cut. Public, painful reversal. Here's the part nobody's reporting on. The tech didn't fail them. The question that they asked at the very beginning did. And it's the same questions being asked in every executive meeting about AI right now, probably in yours. I'm Amadou. I consult on enterprise AI, and the question I'm about to tell you to stop asking is the most common one I hear first on calls. Let me show you the one that you should be asking instead. Two numbers, both should stop you in your tracks. 80% of companies are using AI in at least one function. That's the number you hear everywhere. Sounds like AI is winning, right? But only 39% of those same companies see measurable impact on their bottom line. 49-point gap between we use AI and AI moves the needle for us. And if you zoom out further, only 5% of companies generate substantial business value from AI at scale. 5%. Here's what separates that 5% from everybody else. It's not budget, it's not team size, it's not the tool that they picked. It's that the winners redesigned the workflow before they picked the tool. The losers added the tool to a broken workflow and couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. Which brings us back to Klarna. Klarna led with the tool. We can replace 700 agents with OpenAI. Let's measure cost savings. They did. Cost per contract dropped. Volume looked incredible. CSAT collapsed. Because the AI couldn't handle complex cases or emotional customers or anything outside of training distribution, 12 months in, they were begging humans to come back. And I'm not just bashing Klarna for the sake of it. They asked, what can we replace with AI instead of what actually happens in a support call and which parts of it should be replaced? It's a different question, different answer, and an entirely different outcome. So here's the question. What's the most expensive problem in my business that gets worse as we grow? Not what AI should we use, not what are my competitors doing, not what's the latest tool. What's the most expensive problem that gets worse at scale? That question forces three things. It forces you to name a metric because you can't answer without one. It forces you to name an owner, whoever bleeds that cost today owns the fix. And it forces urgency because if the problem compounds, waiting costs you more. Only then do you ask what tool solves it. And by that point, the answer is usually obvious. Let me show you how that reframe changes everything. I talked to a company a few months ago asking what AI should we use for customer service? Classic tool first question. A vendor was about to sell them a $200,000 chatbot. I flipped the question, what's your most expensive customer service problem that gets worse as you grow? Turns out the 3 full-time support reps answering the same 20 questions 200 times a day at their growth rate, that becomes 6 reps in 18 months, 9 in 3 years. They didn't need AI. They needed a $40 a month knowledge base with a deflection flow. We saved them 200 grand, no AI involved. Another call, a sales team asked, what AI should we use for our sales enablement? I flipped the question. Their most expensive problem, their reps couldn't find the right case study during live calls, so they winged it. And they were losing deals they should have been winning. That one actually needed a RAG agent over their case studies. The right tool, but only because we named the right problem first. Same opening questions from both clients, completely different answers, because the opening question was wrong in both cases. So I want to be honest with you. I'm not saying never be curious about the tools that are available. There are 3 cases where tool first should actually be defensible. 1, R&D budget. You're explicitly exploring this to learn, not to generate ROI in the next 90 days. Fine, if it's founded, tracked separately, and you're not pretending it's a business case. 2, skill building. Your engineers or your ops team needs to understand how agentic AI works before your customers start asking for it. It's legitimate if the goal is capability and not ROI. 3, competitive reaction. Your biggest competitor just announced a feature. You've got 6 weeks to prototype or lose a deal. It's defensible if it's time boxed and you have a clear kill criteria. But these are not the calls I'm on. The calls I'm on are someone about to spend 2 grand, 5 grand, just because a vendor told them that they should. That's 99% case. That's when the wrong question costs you real money. Drop the question people in your company are asking each other about AI right now. Not the business problem, the actual question that keeps coming up in meetings. I want to see how many of you are actually stuck on a tool first problem or version of this. Pattern matching across comments is going to tell me a lot. And if you're about to have the what AI should we use conversation inside your company, pause, book the call first. 30 minutes, we found your real problem before anyone talks tools. Half the time, I'm going to tell you up front, the honest answer is not AI yet. Fix the process. That's the part vendors don't tell you because that's the part where they don't make money. Linked in the description. I'll see you in the next one.